goes to the judges' scorecard, I would suggest that Zhong has been the busier of the two.
So Denver Cuello will get into the corner. Let's see what his corner team can do for him at the moment. He's not a happy man.
And that right arm is causing him still some pain as well.
Yeah, you can see.
He's fighting with that cut, Tom. He's fighting with the right arm.
So let's have a look at these clashes again.
There's the head, but you see Denver leaning. And in actual fact, Zhong was the one that got depleted a point there, but looking at that replay, it's Denver that was leading with it. And a little tad harsh, you could say, from Zhong.
Again, let's have a look now. It is.
Oh, that's a clutching head.
The left as well that almost sort of put him out. He sort of caught the left on the way in, didn't he? That sort of knocked his senses a little. And then, as you said, came lifting in. But you've got to take your hat off for this young man. I mean, look at him. He is not giving an inch. And just the stamina, the courage, the strength of the Filipino to get it back out there for this round.
And you see that, the courage, I think, is the key word in that, Tom. We touched upon it earlier that he is being dubbed as the next Manny Pacquiao, and that is certainly something that the great Filipino champion has in spades, is courage. Manny Pacquiao not scared to step up and weight, not scared to take on the big fights, and Denver Cuello certainly this evening is showing similar courage and fighting with basically one arm. We haven't seen much of that big right for the past few rounds, and he's also battling on with that bad cut on the right-hand side of his head, the blood streaming from it still. But he's battling manfully on here. And he's still in this fight.
Yeah, what a story it would be if he could conjure up one of those big KOs in the latter stages of this game. Zhong, for his part, though.
You just have to say as well for the viewers at home, just keep an eye on the swelling above Zhong's right eye. We're obviously ringside here, and it looks very bad. Yeah, certainly there is a lump there, bruising, swelling. It's definitely developing around Zhong's right eye. Could that come into play the longer the fight goes on?
Must be so frustrating, though, for a fighter like Cuello, a man who's used to sort of explosive punches, used to those big knockouts. He just doesn't have the artillery with him today.
He doesn't at all, and of course with that right arm not being there, great left, and that got through there, that punch from Zhong into Cuello. He's trying to open that up, he's targeting that cut on the left-hand side of Denver Cuello. Two lovely left jabs there. They got through the Denver Cuello defence, but the good thing with Cuello is it seems to have settled him down. He's not now looking over to his cornerman. He seems more concentrated. If anything, the cut has certainly got him down now. He's much more confident, he's much more in this fight. The left arm, though, misses with that one. That was low there.
Desperately trying to just clean that blood off from on top of his right eye. It's certainly hampering his sight on that far side.
But the left, it just does not seem to be making a mark on Xiong. Zhong just keeps coming forward.
Referee asking Denver to keep the punches above the waist belt.
And it looks as if we are headed to the end of this 10th round, 30 seconds remaining on the clock.
Big exploratory left there. That's all he's got at the moment. We can't commentate on the right because we haven't seen it for 3 rounds.
No, and I wish, you just wish you could have, because it is such a great weapon of Denver Cuello's, that big right of his. We've not seen it, as you rightly point out. He's clearly got an issue with that right arm. Be very interested to see after this fight what the issue was. Another clash of heads.
The atmosphere builds yet again round.
And the bruising now underneath the right eye. We talked about it above the right eye of Zhong. It's now developing under it as well, some bruising.
End of the 10th then. 2 more rounds still to be contested in this WBC Strawweight Championship title fight of the world. The first in Dubai, and you couldn't ask for better drama down here at the Dubai World Trade Center. Denver Cuello, the contender from the Philippines, the challenger, the next champion. Well, he's going to need to bring something special out of the hat in the next couple of rounds. Another sight of another of those head clashes early in the round again. Chris McCarty.
We're seeing them now, they're happening now, 1-2 a round. and the referee telling them to get on with it, but both men are guilty as well. They both seem to be leading with that head of theirs, and as we get a shot of what is up for grabs tonight, the gold, the WBC strawweight title, that is what the two men here tonight are fighting for, and that is the one that we're all tuning in, waiting for the final 2 rounds here. We're into round 11.
Seconds out, and it is round 11. These two gladiators going toe-to-toe yet again. Both said that the fight wouldn't go to the later rounds. They're expecting an early finish. Both were wrong.
And I'm glad they have been, because we've been treated to a real feast of some brilliant boxing. I know we've had some clashes of heads. You don't like seeing that, but certainly there have been some wonderful shots. Both men giving it their all. As I said earlier, Denver Cuello, 3 years in the making for this fight. Zhong as well, the first Chinese boxer, a world title champion. And of course, he's looking the first defense of his title to take this back in China. He touched upon it earlier in the week that he is a hero to so many kids back home.
Been impressed with Zhong this evening.
Very impressed, Tom. He's kept on the front foot. He hasn't let things affect him.
Just a quiet achiever as well. None of that big talk in the build-up to it. He's just gone about his business.
Indeed, a very humble man as well. That was the thing that shone through at the weigh-in this past week. A very humble man, and he's certainly put on a show here tonight.
That was read into the stats, you know, the height advantage, the reach advantage, the greater experience of the man from the Philippines.
But he's not had a chance to show it, that right arm of his. He's in effect fighting with one arm, Tom. That makes all the difference. Zhong can counteract now because he knows that right arm is unlikely to be coming in his direction. And as I say, it's he on the front foot again. You could say with Zhong, though, not really caught Denver Cuello with any clean punches in the last few rounds. He's been busy, but he hasn't really caught the man. As I say, most of the damage to Denver Cuello's face has been done by innocuous clashes of heads.
Again, he claims that the head has come into play on that occasion, into the final minute of this 11th round. And it really does prove, excuse the pun, a bit of a headache for the judges.
And it'll just be interesting, the work rate of Zhong, how the judges are seeing that, because as I touch upon it, there's been no real clean shots, if you will, that have really landed in the recent rounds on Denver Cuello. The work rate is certainly something that the judges will be looking at, but Denver Cuello, you must give him top marks for effort, for courage, as we touched upon as well.
Another cut, I think, opening up just above the left eye now for Denver Cuello.
Great work there from Zhong, left and right combination. That's the best we've seen from the Chinese fighter.
And every time the Chinese crowd get a sniff here of the end, the decibels rise in this boxing arena. The only thing that's rising now is the bell. It's ding ding for the latest round, and it looks very much like this fight could go the whole way, and then it will come down to the judges. 3 international judges from Russia, United Kingdom and Spain. Let's have a look at the action from that last round, and again it was this duck and weave and lead with the head.
It's great defence though there from Zhong. He just gets out the way of that left and then comes in with some lovely little combinations there. You just saw there a great left.
But as you said earlier, during the round itself, not connecting with those punches.
Not connecting with many of those punches. Zhong certainly has been the busier of the two fighters, but he's not really got through the Denver Cuello defence. Of course, we did touch upon it earlier as well. Denver seemed to be at unease a little bit, looking over to his cornerman, but as I said earlier as well, the cut seems to have focused him. And now he needs to give it his all. This is the final round, of course. That right arm of his. Can he throw it? The cornerman is telling him to get it going. And here we go, touching gloves. The final round. History made in Dubai tonight.
It's going to go the whole way. It's the final 3 minutes of the 12th and final round in this WBC Strawweight Championship title fight of the world. Will it be Zhong from China or the contender Cuello from the Philippines? Let's get to the action with Chris McCarty.
Indeed, and it's Cuello who started off the better of the two fighters, and another clash of heads as well. That must have been about the 20th clash of heads we've seen in this fight, Tom. And well, both men now have obviously tiredness setting in. 11 rounds of high-class boxing action here in Dubai. Cuello could just use that right arm. As I said earlier, Zhong knows he hasn't used it in recent rounds. If he could just get that right arm going again, he could do some damage in these closing seconds of the final round here. But two men have put on a show, though. They have certainly done that. The atmosphere, the fans are appreciative of it.
Talking of closing, that swelling over the right eye of Zhong certainly seems to be getting worse as this fight progresses.
Catches him with a lovely right there, Zhong. And there left.
Cuello desperate to capitalise on that. That's pretty much his only weapon at the moment with that big left, isn't it?
Indeed, because that right arm, as we've touched upon numerous times here, and that's a great left. Xiong felt that one. Denver Cuello there, a crunching short left.
With that
and
right.
Another one there as well. Good work from Cuello.
It is, and Zhong just composes himself. He's got 1 minute, just over 1 minute remaining in this final round. Will he retain the title for China, or will it be heading to the Philippines?
And again, so light on his feet, Denver Cuello. He's so impressed with his conditioning. He's the one that's probably moved the better of the two men in this fight. And it's Zhong, though, again, with his eyes fixed on his target. Denver Cuello now looks to just want to get through to the end of this fight.
Cuello's corner shouting and barking instructions. I think they know that they need a wonder punch. Or has their man done enough? Let's wait and see. Into the final 20 seconds of the fight, Chris.
Indeed it is, and again, the two men clashing heads again. It's been a feature of this fight. It's something that really you don't like seeing. You like the fight to be open.
Crowd want to finalise it.
And we're in the final seconds, and there we have it. And the Filipino men, they think their men have won. Well, an absolute superb fight. Denver Cuello is lifted, as is Zhong. Both men think they've won this fight. It's a hard one to call for me, Tom. Both men were busy in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judge John Keener scoring it 113, 113. Roman Filimov 115, 112. Sergio Izongo 113, 110. The winner by split decision, and still the WBC strawweight champion of the world, Zhong Zhao.
So there we have it, and the pictures tell 1,000 stories.